I'm going to give you the exact strategies that I'm using to get high ticket clients through Facebook cold outreach, and you can trust me because I'm booking over 100 qualified appointments every single month, and this month I made over $35,000. Okay, so you're going to be able to have something that's actually generating you appointments at the end of this video without having to test every single strategy for over a year and send over 50,000 outbound messages like I had to, and you can just basically take this Facebook system from me, okay? So in order to find the best Facebook outreach strategy, right, this is what we're going to cover. So we're going to go over profile setup, finding leads, sending limits, and warm up, as well as the script that's getting me over 100 appointments per month right now, okay? So the very first step to this and the most important thing is profile setup, okay? If we don't look like a real human, people are not going to want to respond to us, right? When we are messaging someone in the DMs, the reason why they want to respond is partially because they want to have a conversation with another human being. And if we look like we're just a robot, like with a, like for example, like a sales banner, which I can touch on in a second, people are just going to see that and not want to reply to us, okay? So that's the very first thing that we want to have, is something that's not a salesy banner, okay? With this, it's not about really what you're doing right. It's more about not doing what is wrong, okay? And what you want to do here is essentially come off as a authentic human being, not just trying to sell someone something, right? So for me, for example, I just have a quote. You can add like a landscape photo of like the place where you're from or anything like that. Just don't look like you just want to sell them something, right? Don't be one of those people that's just going to have, I help chiropractors get 20 appointments every single month, right? It's not going to work because people are just going to see that and they're going to be like, oh, this guy's just like everyone else. I'm not going to respond to him, right? So we don't want that. Number two is we want to clearly show our face in our profile picture, right? We don't want to have a logo or anything like that. We actually want to look, again, like we are a real human. This is rule number one of outreach, okay? You want to actually look like someone who is a real, actual living human, okay? And we want to do this by actually showing our face, okay? So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to overcomplicate this, right? But just post a picture of your face. It doesn't even matter if you're ugly, okay? Just put a picture of your face. Number three is you need a verification badge, okay? If Facebook is going to be your main form of outreach and you do not want to invest $15 a month to something that's going to increase your reply rates by 50%, you don't deserve to have a business and you should not start Facebook outreach in the first place, okay? So if you're going to do this, just get the badge, okay? It's not expensive, and if you're not committed enough to get a $15 badge, then I don't know what to tell you, okay? There's nothing that anyone could do to help you, okay? Next, profile setup in terms of our bio and in terms of our essentially our actual setup, right? So what we want to have here, right, basically is a simple, again, and a non-salesy bio. You can add more than me. I just have founder at my company. Obviously, you can include other things like maybe a sport that you play, maybe the school that you go to. As long as you're actually showing people, again, that you're human, you should see a theme here, right? Then it's fine, okay? Don't put your offer in your bio, okay? It's not helpful, okay? Next thing you want to do is add your location and work information filled out here. Again, the more stuff you have in here, the more human you look. If you don't have anything here and you have a completely blank profile with no intro, anything like that, people are going to look and they're going to be like, okay, this guy's obviously just a fake person, right? Just trying to message me. So you want to have this stuff filled up. You also want to have your other social profiles connected here. If you're able to do that, again, it just makes you look more human. You can also add your website here if you want to. It's not a requirement, but you can if you want. Next thing here, you want to try and show authority in your feed, right? You can do this based on, like, you can do this by adding YouTube videos if you have a YouTube channel. You can do this by adding text-based help, right? So if you want to go ahead and post on your profile, like the main important things about what you do and why you're good, basically, and just showing that you actually know what you're talking about in your posts. That's what you want to do. If you don't feel like posting content, you don't have to. It's not a requirement. Just post some pictures of yourself. Again, you just want to show that you're human if you can. So just post some pictures of you, and that'll be more than enough. Next is actually finding leads. So once we have our profile completely set up, we're actually going to be looking for people to find, okay? So very first step is we are going to look in our niche, in our local area, right? So this doesn't have to be our local area, it just has to be a local area, right? So let's say, for example, we want to work with roofers. And let's just say we want to roofers in, and we can just search up a random location. Let's say roofers in Miami, right? We would search this up, right? And what we actually be able to find here, if we go to see all, is we can see all these groups, right? So we can see Florida Roofer, this has public 4.3 thousand members, but what's actually the really, really good place to find these people is in the smaller groups where nobody else is reaching out to. Because I guarantee there's a lot of other agency owners in this group reaching out to roofers. So what we can actually do is scroll down to the bottom here, right, and we can find Florida roofers. This one has only 33 members in here, but I can guarantee you that all of these 33 members are not being reached out to nearly as much as everyone else. So what we would do is we would go in here, right? And what we could do, right, is I actually have Facebook blocked. Let me just turn this on for a second here. If we go to unhide these likes. Now we can see the likes here. So what we can do is sometimes these posts will have people liking them, and we can actually find the people who like these posts, right? And then we can reach out to them, right? Because they're obviously engaging here. We can also see like APC Roofing is posting here, so we can go ahead and message these people. We can see this person's talking about his projects with his roofing. This would be a great person to go over to here, right? We could add him as a friend, and then we could actually message him right here, right? And that's a perfect lead that I guarantee you nobody else is taking advantage or reaching out to, okay? So that's a really, really good way to find these kinds of people, okay? So you can look through these members as well. You don't have to just go through likes. You can look at all the people inside of the group, and then you can just reach out to these people individually. It is better to go for likes if you can, because it tells them that they're actually engaging with the content and that they're active. But if you can't find many people who are liking the posts, like I just showed you, you can always go through members and reach out to those people as well, okay? So that's basically how we can find leads. Next thing is we need to talk about sending limits and warm-up, because a massive thing that I see in the market right now is people are reaching out to people on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on all these things, and they're coming to me and they're telling me, Josh, all my accounts are banned. I don't know what's going on, right? So we need to make sure that we're not going over the limits of Meta so that we don't get banned, and then we can keep reaching out to people and keep getting clients, right? So do not create new accounts, okay? This is a really big thing that people do. They create fresh accounts and then they start instantly outreaching to people. If you do that, you will definitely get banned. So what you want to do is you want to buy old accounts. You can buy them on z2u.com. There's a link here. You can also just search this up, right? So if you actually just create a new account, Facebook's going to see that you just created the new account, you're messaging people, is probably you're trying to outreach, right? And they don't like that. So what we can do is we can buy accounts from like 2020, right? And then we can use like those accounts, right, to be able to message people, and then they're not going to basically see that it's a new account reaching out to people. So you can just go here. It's basically a marketplace where you can buy old accounts, okay? Once you have done that, once you've bought the aged account, right, this account should be at least 2 to 3 years old. I personally buy them from 2018, but you could probably get away with 2021 or 2020, right? You're going to want to send 3 friend requests per day and 2 cold DMs per day, okay? Once you do this, once you start doing this, right, you're going to increase the amount of friend requests you send per day by 3 per day until you've reached 50 per day, and increase the amount of cold DMs you send by 2 per day until you reach 30 per day, okay? So day 1, you're going to send 3 friend requests and then 2 cold DMs. Day 2, you're going to send 6 friend requests and 4 cold DMs. Day 3, you're going to send 9 and 6, and you should hopefully get the point, right? Also, very important thing, you want to space out your messaging throughout the day so you don't do it all at once, because again, once you're up to this 30, if you're doing 30 all at once, Meta's going to see that they're going to be like, what's going on? This is a bit not normal behavior, right? So what you want to do is do 10 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, 10 in the evening, so they don't see that and they don't ban you, okay? Another thing is that you only cold DM people who you have friend requested or you will get banned. I made this mistake when I started. I was just cold DMing people without friend requesting them first. They don't even necessarily have to accept it. I would recommend you wait for them to accept it, but you don't have to. But if you only cold DM people, right, who you haven't even requested, you're going to get banned very, 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 very quickly, okay? So do not do that, or you're just going to go straight to spam, okay? Now, scripts, this is what you've been waiting for, all right? So this is the scripting process that I basically sent over probably 30,000 outbound to in the last month and a half, okay? So this is basically the message sequence. So first thing is something like, hey name, I was wondering if you'd be open to new opportunities regarding insert what you do, right? If you're basically own a social media marketing agency, which most of you probably do, right? I was wondering if you'd be open to new opportunities regarding getting more roofing jobs. I didn't want to blast you with info without your permission, haha, but if I can send you over some more info, just leave a thumbs up, right? Super simple, and you're giving them a very clear call to action to leave a thumbs up, so it's very frictionless, and a lot of people will be interested in that, okay? This is also another thing that's important where a lot of people just say like some random shit just to get people to respond. This is actually like these people know what they're getting into, so they're going to be a lot more open to actually hearing your pitch. Okay. Message number 2, if there's one positively, you're going to send them a Loom video, which basically explains your offer. I have an example over here. You can watch this if you want to. The whole presentation will be linked in the description, so you can grab that if you want. And this is basically my Loom video that I send to people, which you can emulate, right? And then if they respond positively to the Loom video, then you can just send them over your calendar link, and then they will book in call, okay? Now, if you want me to build your offer and help you write your scripts and give you the same system that's booking me over 30 appointments a week and set up an automation to get the whole thing running, getting appointments on autopilot, you can click the first link in the description. If not, I'll see you later. Bye.